Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're in the newly released VNAO mod for the T-45C Goshawk. It's April 2021. And today we're looking at the cockpit, split it up into its rough sections. I'm circling here left console, left auxiliary panel, front panel or instrument panel, UFC and HUD, ABO, right auxiliary panel, right console. Let's start with left console. At the rear here we have two controls for the seat, neither are modelled. A lot of this stuff is not going to be modelled yet, as this is the release version of the aircraft. Next, OBOGs and oxygen. OBOGs is oxygen generation, currently not modelled. Fuel shut-off and ignition, currently not modelled. This panel here is a mixture of various things. The only two things on it that are modelled at the moment are the engine, off, on or start, and the rudder trim, which does work. Next, the throttle quadrant. It moves with your actual throttle quadrant, but the various buttons and switches that are on it are not pressable per se. You find them in the adjust controls menu. Next is the flaps button, or switch or lever, that is modelled. Three positions, bring down, half or up. One gripe I have about this aircraft so far, don't get me wrong, great aircraft, great mod, but when you move the cursor over to a control, the hitbox of the controls are in the kind of the wrong place. So to get the hitbox of that control there, you have to be between there and not there. Now that sounds like a really small thing, but when you're fiddling in a cockpit flying and having all the stresses of flight, things like that get really annoying, especially around the right side of the cockpit. So I really hope they get that side of things nailed down. Anti-skid, on or off. Again, same thing. Look, you see how I've only noticed it in this mod, but look where my cursor is to actually get the hitbox. It's there, right on the end, and goes out to there. So the hitboxes are in the wrong place, and it's incredibly frustrating when you're trying to fly the thing. Next, the three hydraulic systems metered in thousands of pounds per square inch. The braking system, the controls hydraulic system 1, the controls hydraulic system 2, and we've got the reset button here for hydraulics 2, and you'll be pressing that during the startup sequence. Next, we've got the three trimmer positions, so rudder position, slightly offset to the right at the moment, aileron position, slightly offset to the left, and the pitch trim here in degrees, 0, +5, -5. Left auxiliary panel, emergency flaps, down or normal, launch bar for when hooking up to the catapult, modelled. Emergency gear release here, another one of those annoying things, because look, I'm moving my mouse over it, but the hitbox for it is only on the top half, or actually only that tiny little bit there. Makes it really hard to push. Emergency jettison button here, flaps condition half, fully down. Landing gear condition, 3 green at the moment. Gear handle here, again to click it, you've got to find that little spot there to actually be able to click it, really annoying. Plus we've noticed sometimes when you use the HOTAS way of raising the gear, this knob gets stuck and doesn't actually move. Again, just small teething problems that we need to report. Tone button here, not modelled. Onto the left of the instrument panel, far left, master arm, armed or safe. This, I think here, is for video recording and it's not modelled obviously in DCS. Steam gauges, speedo in knots, IAS times 100. VSI, vertical speed indicator, up or down in thousands of feet per minute. Up here, a series of indicator / caution lights. I don't have a full listing. This is a combined gauge of turn rate and, at the bottom, side slip indicator. This is our barometric altimeter, showing hundreds of feet ASL with the long needle and thousands absolute in the drum in the middle, and current pressure setting in inches mercury down here, and you have the ability to change the pressure setting there. Next, backup ADI, attitude director indicator, without the ability to cage or adjust. A couple of indicator caution lights, master caution light here, and the ability to reset it. Angle of attack indicator here in degrees. We'll come back to the screens. Right instrument panel. So we've got a series of indicator / caution / warning lights here and here. Again, we've got nothing in the manual to tell us what they actually are, so we'll just find out the hard way. Next, engine instruments, fuel flow thousands of pounds per hour. This is engine tachometer in percent. It's the speed that the engine is rotating. Next is the total fuel quantity in hundreds of pounds, up to 3,000 pounds. Next is the EGT, engine gas temperature, hot part of the engine, and that's in hundreds of degrees Celsius. Pitot heat on or off. And then we've got the hook bypass, field operations, carrier operations. We have two MFDs here that can be operated independently. They can show the same things. So, build-in test, currently not modelled. Engine is modelled. It shows you the various parameters of the engine. You can see them changing here. Back to main menu. Training, currently not modelled. Menu just takes you back to the main menu. Data is going to allow us to change all sorts of data, including navigation data, but currently not modelled, or very little modelled. We can see our aircraft information there. We can't really change anything yet. ADI, primary attitude director indicator. Navigation source, hybrid INS GPS, currently not modelled. Magnetic heading tape here. Attitude indicator here. Roll along the bottom. Pitch in the middle. Waterline. Watermark. Low altitude warning here. Click on it. Currently set to 500, and you've got the ability to change it here. Bingo fuel here. Ability to change it here. Menu takes you back out. Data takes you to data. PT, pitch trim. So we can change the trim of the ADI, which is normal. Current G loading. Current mark. Current angle of attack. Current true speed. Current speed, minimum 50. Current altitude, ASL. Turn rate indicator, side slip indicator. Next. HSI, horizontal situation indicator, our primary method of navigation. Quite a complex screen. We cover it thoroughly in our navigation tutorial, including all of the options, so we're not going to go through it now. HUD is a simple HUD repeater. Video recording, not modelled. Stores, we go through this fully in our weapons video tutorial, so we won't go through it now. Down behind the stick we have COM1, radio 1 here. It's VHF, UHF capable. We have the volume here. The squelch doesn't work at the moment. Strangely, the frequency mode selector doesn't work at the moment, so it's manual only. You can change the frequency with these guys here. Master mode off. Transmit receive and monitor guard. Direction finding, navigation which we can't, and test which we can't select at the moment. Amplitude or frequency modulation works, and brightness works. Next, our COM transfer here, COM1, COM2. Here, our cabin pressure indicator equivalent, thousands of feet up to 50,000 feet. Right auxiliary panel, clock, currently without the ability to adjust and set stopwatch, etc. We've got the hook, and it's really hard to press this. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. There we go, got the hook down, hook up. Again, same problem, I can't find the hitbox to express H on the keyboard. We've got a master audio volume down here. Currently we can select COM1, COM2. Intercom volume I've managed to change. This one I can't get because, again, the hitbox of the controls are messed up, as you can see. You see what, it's almost impossible to use. VOR, no. TACAN, not modelled. All of the others I can't find modelled. Parking brake here, again, almost impossible to click. I mean, I clicked there, for instance, and I'm doing the parking brake. It's just the hitbox is in the wrong place. Nothing else I can get working on that auxiliary panel yet. Right console, ILS panel here. First, instrument landing system. Power, test, or off. The ability to change the units for the megahertz for the frequency here, left and right click. And the decimal units, left and right click. Volume should be there, but that's not, I can't get it clickable at the moment. TACAN, tactical air navigation panel on. Test is not functional. We have a pyramid knob here where we can change the... We've got a pyramid knob here, one on the top, one on the bottom, and you can use left and right click. It's stopped working for some reason. It's been working until now, so just a small bug I've run into. But you would usually use the lower knob for, I think, the tens of units, and the upper knob here for the single units to program in the number of the TACAN station. The band, X or Y, currently not changeable, default to Y. Volume knob, non-functional. COM2, this is a secondary UHF, VHF capable radio with all the same controls working or not working as COM1 that we looked at earlier. IFF panel, big old panel with lots of buttons here, but nothing is modelled and probably never will be. Power panel here, battery on or off, battery 2 on or off, AC reset, currently not modelled, generator reset is modelled, and we've got our loading here in volts. Next, internal lights. MIP, rheostat off to bright, console rheostat off to bright, and floodlight off to bright. ECS, environmental control system, currently not modelled. Next, exterior lights, landing lights and taxi lights on or off, anti-collision / strobe, both of them on, nothing on, anti-collision only. Navigation lights, steady or flashing. Tail lights, bright, off or dim. Wing lights, bright, off or dim. Formation lights, bright, off or dim. Light test, currently not functional. Warning, caution panel or light dimmer, currently not functional. Next, UFC up-front controller here, HUD here, angle of attack indexer here. The angle of attack indexer is a series of 3 lights which combination of lights show how to get us on speed and on the correct angle of attack for landing. Next, the HUD will change slightly depending on which mode you're in, but in its base mode we have a roll indicator along the bottom here, sorry that we can't see it very well. We have a pitch ladder, -5 degrees, horizon line, +5 degrees, +10 degrees, and so on. A magnetic heading tape here, 090, 100, 110, and currently our indicator there, and we go through this thoroughly in the navigation tutorial. Our velocity vector here, which shows you where our aircraft is actually going to at this point in time. Our indicated airspeed in knots, minimum 50. Our angle of attack, currently 8.7 degrees. In other modes we will have extra symbology here. Our current barometric altitude here, 80 feet. Our VSI here, vertical speed indicator, obviously 0 at the moment, will show us if we're climbing or diving. In terms of the UFC, we can turn the HUD on or off. Auto or day mode doesn't work at the moment. Brightness rheostat. We have declutter. We can have 2 reject modes. Reject mode 1, reject mode 2. You can see it removes various symbologies based on what you want to show. An alpha numeric keypad here. Enter, clear. We can set 3 things from this UFC at the moment. Low altitude warning system, our course line, our heading line, and our bingo fuel. So for instance, if I want to set our low altitude warning, click there. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see. I'll try and move up. Clear. 300. Enter. And we've literally set that. Bingo. Fuel. Bingo. I don't know. 560 pounds. Enter. And so on. We've got an incrementer here. This could be used to increment various things. We show that during the weapons and navigation tutorials, etc. Whatever we're going to increment. Master mode selector. 3 modes. Note that if we select air-to-ground weapons, for instance, we'll automatically go into air-to-ground mode, and we won't need to click mode here. Up to the ABO, we've got here, this lever allows us to open and close the canopy. Mirrors, top, left and right. I don't think I can remove them, as far as I've seen. We have our magnetic E2B compass up here, with a light that is non-functional at the moment. So that's the front cockpit. Now to the back cockpit. In single player, we're going to press the 2 key and we're in the back cockpit. Now this is not quite a repeat. There are some things that are missing. For instance, there is no HUD here. We do have the UFC, we have the MFDs, we have the flight instruments, we have the angle of attack indexer, we have the left auxiliary panel, we have these guys here. We have a left console, which appears to be identical. And bearing in mind they are linked as well. So watch what happens if I move this anti-skid to off from the front cockpit. So anti-skid to off, rear cockpit, and it's now off here, and vice versa. This panel here is the same. Indicator lights, caution lights the same. Right auxiliary panel is the same. Left console is different. We're missing a few of the panels like IFF, like exterior lights, but otherwise that is the same. Again with the MFDs, if I were to change something, what should we do? Let's go to data there, into the rear seat. You can see we're now on data, so they're linked, which is quite clever. That's the T-45C April 2021. As time goes on, I expect them to make more of the switches functional, and we'll cover that when we need to. I hope that was useful, and see you later.